Hello there. I can see you come in. Well, sit down, make yourself at home. A wandering guest like yourself must surely be tired. No? Oh, you'd rather stand uncomfortably 2 feet away, perfectly framing me in the shot? Well, who am I to argue with a guest? What am I reading, you ask? Why, this is the Player's Handbook for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. You've never heard of it? Well, it's quite simple. Say, would you be interested in possibly learning the rules? Well, that's too bad. Let's get started. And no worries, I know a lot of people have heard that this game is incredibly number-specific, detailed, lots of rules, but we have as much time in the world. Oh, how much time? No, you don't have to put it. Oh. Well, that's all right. We can still make this work. How about we just teach you in...
All you need to play is a character sheet, a pencil, some dice, and at least 2 players. Oh, and access to the player's handbook. Though, in theory, all of this stuff can be found online, so in theory, the game is free. But for the purposes of demonstration, let's put everything out on the table. Now that you've got your players, select one of them to be your storyteller. The storyteller is the person who creates the world in which everyone else plays in. Everyone else, they'll be a player. For now, let's focus on that. With players decided, there's one last thing you need to do before playing the actual game, and that's creating your entire character. But don't worry, we can speed through it. I know it looks like a lot, but trust me, once you get into it, you have to make like 3 decisions, and once those 3 decisions are done, everything is basically over, probably, mostly, not really. There are quite a few important decisions to be made when making your character, but perhaps the most important is what class you're going to play. What class you're going to play decides your major abilities, the things you're good at, whether you're a mighty, intelligent wizard, a strong, hardy barbarian, or like, a fighter who's like a guy who swings stuff really good. For the purposes of this example, let's go ahead and say that this character is going to be a rogue who's quiet, intelligent, and good at like stabbing people. Now that we've got our character's class decided, the next step is to kind of decide what they look like, where they come from. This is what kind of creature you're going to be playing, whether it be a dragonborn, a dwarf, an elf, a gnome, a half-elf, halfling, half-orc. I would list them all off, but there's over 50 of them, and we are running out of time. So let's go with Grung, which is, well, no elegant way to put this. It's just a little frog guy. Now that we've got our little frog guy, the last thing to decide for him is what background he's going to take. Background is basically just a fancy way of saying whatever you were doing before the adventure started. For him, I'm going to go with Gambler, because the idea of a little frog guy who has gambled his entire life savings away is, well, it's something to think about. Okay, the last thing you need to worry about is ability scores and the proficiencies. Ability scores are determined by, well, at the very beginning, before your game has even begun, you roll 4d6, drop the lowest for each of them. Go ahead and place them into slots that you think will be good for your character. Your ability scores decide what your character's good at, if they're smart, if they're quick, if they're strong. It also decides your proficiencies. Based on the class you've picked, you can also become proficient in some of these, which means that you're better at them than anything else. Sound good? Okay! And with that, put a name on it, send it out the door, and you're done with your character. As the game starts, the scene is set, the characters are played by the storyteller. You, however, play your main character that you've created. While playing, it's your job to decide what your character does at any given moment. While you can try to do anything, your chance of success is changed based on what your character is good at, which is determined by the character sheet. So, if I wanted to try and climb a rooftop, I could roll for it and add based on what my character is good at. Okay, great. Now that we've got that done, we can move on to character narrative. We still have storytelling as well. Storytelling. Oh, wait, it's just not enough time.
Look, we are out of time, and I didn't get through half the stuff that I wanted to, and now it will be stressful. But I guess it's been stressful already, huh? Can we just, for half a second, I'm sorry. The wedding venue can wait. A lot of the time, people see games like this, and there's stress. Because it's not as simple as just sitting down for a board game. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot to learn. And that can be really, really scary. But I think the more that one looks at it and the more one picks it apart, the end goal isn't to know all the numbers and all the rules. The end goal is to have fun with a bunch of friends. So just go play Uno or something. All right? Because I'm done. I'm done. No, I quit.